Hello and welcome to another tactic or, well, data sheet review. Before we begin that, if you would like to see more videos like this one, please hit the subscribe button and smash the bell button with the Grot and you'll do 2d3 shots at it and you'll be notified that many times of more videos like this one. Anywho, going back on to the subject, obviously as you can see, we're currently looking at the Grot tanks, good gosh, with a power level of 6. They have, let's look at the stats. Movement, 2d6. It's a random movement, okay? So you're moving anywhere between 2 inches and 12 inches. Weapon skill of 6. Ballistic skill of 4+, which is massive in an orc army. Strength 4. So they're not going to be hitting very hard, but they're definitely harder than the normal Gretchen. Toughness 5, which is good. Wounds of 4, which is good. 2 attacks or 3 if it's a commander. A leadership of 4, which stinks. A leadership of 5 if it's got a commander. And a save of 4+. We'll go over the weapons in a minute. We'll have a little look at the rules. So, first of all, Grot tanks have a movement characteristic of 2d6, and this must be rolled for at the beginning of each movement phase. So, you don't have to move. It's not telling you have to move at least 2 inches or 12 inches, but if you need to move, you're going to have to roll. You have to roll anyway to tell you if you can or not. Rolling scrap pile. Grot tanks have an invulnerable save of 6+, which is good. In my opinion, I think you kind of need that. So even against a lance cannon, you're still going to get a 6-up save, which is good. Obviously, they're not so good with the leadership. That's really pants. But let's have a look at the weapons. So it does say, a Grot tank unit contains 4 Grot tanks. An additional 4 Grot tanks, power level 6. 1 commander may take the place of a Grot tank in each unit. Grot tanks may only be included in a detachment that has 1 or more big mechs. That's not hard to do. If you grab a unit of knobs, you can make your own big mech. I have made a video, so if I've got any common sense, I may not, then I will probably include that link somewhere up at the top of the video. Who knows? So, each one can hit either, let's have a look, each model must choose one of the weapons below. The commander may choose 2 instead. A big shooter, a Scorcher, a Grot Zuka, a rocket launcher, and a custom Mega Blaster. Any Grot tank may also have a shooter. So, big shooter. I do like the big shooter. We've already gone over that. Assault 3, so it can move and shoot without worrying about movement. Strength 5, which is decent. No AP, 1 damage, so it doesn't muck about. Probably going to hit 1 or 1.5 out of them. So you're going to get 12 shots in total if you arm them all that way. You're also... Unos momento. You're also possibly going to get an extra one if you give an extra one to the commander. But you're going to hit about 3 times out of them. Strength 5 shots, pretty decent. You can have a Scorcher. So this is good and bad. To use that Scorcher, you're going to need to be close to the enemy. Which means you've got to roll between 2 inches or 12 inches. So that's not great. But obviously you could advance as well. So you could possibly move 18 inches if you're very lucky. But it's not likely, is it? You could probably move somewhere between 4 and 18 inches, which is okay-ish. But probably not best for the Scorcher. Grot Zuka, everyone's favourite, is 18 inches. So you're going to have to move up a little bit. It is heavy 2d3, so when you do move, you are going to be hitting on 5s like a standard orc weapon anyway. But if you get to the middle of the board, that effectively becomes 36 inches. If you're sitting in the middle, there's a bubble of 36 inches where you can just, well, that's the radius, isn't it? I might be wrong. Anyway, but that's strength 6, which is decent. And you're also, no AP, 1 damage. 2d3 shots, so you're probably going to get anywhere between 2 and 6 shots. Which is kind of good. But I think I'd probably, this is heresy, going for the standard of the big shooter. I like the distance on it, and I like that it can reliably spit out 3 shots. which is good. You can give them the rocket launcher, which is one shot, so 50-50 chance with a 4+, and it's assault weapon 2, so you can physically move about as much as you like with that weapon and still hit. It's going to have a strength of 8, a -2 on the AP, and a damage of 3, which is very consistent. So if you do hit, you are going to definitely do some damage, which is good. Custom Mega Blaster, nobody's favourite. 24 inches, assault 1, strength 8, same as the rocket launcher, AP -3. Not great. You're also going to do D3 damage. Not 3, not D6, which would be actually decent. So I believe it says 6+ Stevo obviously did a massive video, about 15 minutes long, dedicated to whether the custom Mega Blaster, actually I think it was the mech, wasn't it? But custom Mega Blaster, whether it's actually worth it or not. And obviously he disagrees. I would disagree too. It's okay-ish, because it says if you roll a 1 or more hit rolls of 1, the bearer suffers a mortal wound after all of the weapon's shots have been fired. So you still get it out, but you still get a mortal wound. And you get... Good gosh. See, you take a mortal wound, so you're going to go down to 3 wounds. If you miss, and again, that's a 50-50 chance. If it was like Assault D3, Assault D6, to show that they're unreliable, or you possibly definitely did 3 plus D3, or any roll of 1, 2, or 3 becomes a 3, that would be like, right, well, I probably will take that, because it's actually a decent thing. I would rather take the rocket launcher at this one, because it's more reliable. You can also take a shooter, so you can get what the boys get, strap it on. You get Assault 2, Strength 4, 18 inches, which does relatively complement them. So if you've got 4 guys, 4 tanks even, you're going to be hitting 50% of the time. You're going to be doing 8 shots, so you're going to 4 of them are going to go through. So it's an extra little shot, just for funsies, if I'm brutally honest. So how would I do this? I would take 4. The only thing I would say about this as well, sorry, before I go on, is that I don't see anything saying about the mob roll, unless that's earlier on in the whatchamacallit. So I think you kind of need to set the other tank, and I can't remember what it is on the next page, but we're not going to review that in this video. I would load them out, probably big shooters or rocket launchers. And if I had the big shooters, I'd probably sit at the back line, covering, protecting someone else, or moving up as mobile cover, because you're not going to have any negatives from moving up. That's the way I'd play them. I'd probably play them big shooters with an extra shooter on top, and I'd probably give the commander, either an extra big shooter, so you'd have like 15 shots for 4 guys, or I would just give them the big shooter, who knows, or rocket launcher, if I can speak English. We've kind of trailed off a little bit there. It'd be interesting to find out what happens to the clans. I've already done a video on that one, so if you want to see or listen to that one, you know, it'll probably be popping up somewhere on the bottom of the screen, top of the screen, who knows, and we'll talk about that one again. Yeah, that's it pretty much. Let me know what you think about Grot tanks. I've already said I've done a conversion on that one, so I've already gone over that. Let me know what you think. Comments down below as ever. Thank you very much.